African Media Initiative's business blog discusses topics pertinent to media business on the African continent with business leaders and thought leaders to look at trends, identify opportunities, and examine possible solutions to the many challenges facing media organizations as they try to navigate today's rapidly changing media landscape.
My name is Finch. I'm a senior social specialist, social development specialist at the World Bank, based here in Nairobi. I manage a program that's focused on social accountability, which means basically the linkages and accountabilities between government service providers and citizens. I work on policy and institutional reforms that are related to transparency, that are related to participatory processes, especially in local government as Kenya devolves, as well as overall policies on access to information, public financial management as county government as they relate to citizens. Secondly, I work on projects, so World Bank finance projects on how they both test and embed systems that involve beneficiaries in the design of projects, but also in their implementation and monitoring. And then finally, I work a bit on supporting uses of information communication technology for social accountability, including things like open data, but also looking at various forms of citizen feedback. Open data has many forms, but open data is data that is available in digital, machine-readable format that enables that's accessible basically online, and it allows a wider group of users to do manipulations with the data, to do analysis with the data, to compare different kinds of data using the technology that's available. So basically, I think the two key characteristics are: one, it's not just in a book. It's available in databases that users can access and can download. And two, it's open. It's available to the public. I think open data from the world. There are many reasons why it's important. There's an economic angle that open data is helping to develop whole sectors of economies in some countries, especially in the developed world. But our primary interest in open data is for two reasons. One is it gives a channel to analyze and target poverty reduction much better than it has been done in the past. So open data provides the opportunity for more people to make sense of data, to analyze data, to visualize, to make visualizations based on that data, visualizations that tell the underlying stories, and then to get that analysis, those visualizations out to much broader audiences. It also enables a much wider group of stakeholders to develop applications using the data that help people in various aspects of their everyday lives. And we're interested in that for a couple of reasons. One is it enables better targeting of various kinds of poverty reduction initiatives, whether it's building infrastructure or doing a social transfer program. Two, it means that citizens themselves have more of the tools at hand to do something, both to know where they stand in terms of the quality of service delivery that they're receiving, but also just to more efficiently engage with government service provision, and to provide feedback to government or to non-government more quickly and readily. And data as the basis of decision making, data as a basis of citizen feedback is really a key element of development. And moving toward development that's informed by data, as one of the, I think it was one of the media representatives said at the Code for Kenya launch, is really what it's all about. So is media informed by data and empirics, or is it informed just by opinion, right? And the more that data informs it, in theory, we can have better development decisions and more empowerment. And then finally, just from an overall governance perspective, open data, by making data open, it allows, there's just a lot more transparency about the impacts of programs, about metrics of service delivery and performance of service providers, that in turn, if it's interpreted well, if it's made available on platforms that citizens can use, can lead to both citizens being able to demand better performance, to know how their local service providers are performing versus others, and to demand change through the political processes, through other processes of citizen action. So I think at the core, that's what that's why we're interested in open data. I think one, if you look at the way that media is going globally, media and the way that people interact with media is going increasingly digital, including in countries like Kenya, where people are still, there's a strong traditional media, there will be for many years, but more and more people are accessing information and media information through computers, through cell phones, through new and different channels, including the social media. And so I think if you think about open data is part of the information that media needs to be able to access and make sense of for this increasingly ICT literate audience. You're seeing that happen all over the world. You're seeing Newsweek become a online publication instead of a hard copy publication. As you move to online formats, digital becomes that much more important, and data potentially is a key part of that. And I think we're just seeing a movement of media toward increasingly being delivered through a digital channel, but also media's role in making sense of a lot of data for users, and that there's certainly demand out there among readers for that kind of analysis and for delivery through those kind of channels. Open data really serves both potentially, but it really depends on the capacity of media to access the data and to make sense of it and to disseminate in ways that their audiences care about. If you look at the increasing set parts of media organizations that are focused on their digital side, that are making use of data, like The Guardian. If you look at media in the United States, many media, if you go on there, both they use data to inform their print journalism, to inform their television and radio journalism. If you go onto their portals, there's certainly a lot of applications, whether it's mapping, graphs, all kinds of ways that they're using data, and a lot of that is open data from the government, but also from other sources, to as a backbone, as an underpinning for their stories. And they maybe use a lens of individuals, but they're telling stories about bigger trends, and data is what is informing the way that they report on those bigger trends. And open data is just a core critical element, and we're going to see that shift continue to happen. When the World Bank Institute and the African Media Initiative had the boot camp for journalists on, basically it was talking about open data, how that can be relevant for the media. And there was a huge uptake of media organizations and also of media managers who can see that this is happening already. There's a lot of interest in how do I, given the constraints on journalist time, right? They have to file quickly, they have to access chunks of information that they can use in a paragraph or a sentence, very quickly. But the more that media become aware, journalists become aware of the sources that are available, they're able to access those quickly, or they're able to access the people who are doing the analysis for them or for others, and to make sense of complicated patterns.